stomach, you are doing your ritual. As long as you stay down there, you might be okay. So, Rise of Allies. Roy Greer and Carmen are going to pop out of the bushes, and they are going to break this thing as they pummel it to pieces. It, James, looking over them, you get the feeling that they have become very good at doing this with almost methodical efficiency.
Thank you.
Head to the north.
I
Wanda will
was
leave out the east.
okay, and I of course with the woman in black and me carrying the woman in black, I go up there.
Right. That'll be on your turn. Right now, it's still just theirs.
Okay.
As this last totem breaks, Dante and Green, even from here, you can see the iron gates start to sway open as the darkness that was behind them begins to fade away and leaves only white mist behind. The way is open, Dante, and Wanda is going to start running straight out the gate. Rise of Villains. The Huntress is not interested in the rest of you and will be running after Wanda. Rise of Heroes. Dante, escape?
Yep.
Alright, you escaped. Clayton escapes. The Witch escapes. James.
I'm go. I carry. I go. I'm going.
Alright. So the lot of you have escaped through the north gate as Wanda rushes out into the distance. And the witch is going to go ahead and make a prediction.
Wait, is Zamek still in the basement?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, thanks for leaving me behind, guys. Don't worry, I got you. I got you covered. Don't worry. You guys will totally make it out alive.
well, I mean, rescuing a child. What the hell are you doing?
The witch will look over at the rest of you and go, I don't know if Wanda will make it, but we have our opportunity coming. We need to get up to the surface.
Wait. Wait. Where is Zamek?
He's doing what he can.
Dear.
He'll be behind us. I know it.
No. Hold on a second. Clayton. You are Clayton, right?
Yes, Oliver. What do you need?
Stop calling me that.
Uh, uh,
Here. Here, take this girl.
he seems like slightly taken aback as he like holds the girl like up with two arms and lets her like just dangle in the
Yeah, shoulder
what
check.
do I do with
Get her to the surface. You remember Wanda's brother, yes?
Yeah, I remember the house.
Yes, take her there.
Okay, we'll do, Oliver.
And I will turn back around with a dramatic cape flare. Because yes, I am wearing a cape! And I am going to turn back towards the way I came. Because god damn it, I'm not leaving Zalmak behind.
Oh yeah. The witch will just hold up her hand for a second. Don't be stupid again, child.
You know what? Fuck this woman. I'm gonna try and use mesmerism if you don't have any argument against it.
I don't, but she's also an old woman. She can't actually stop you.
Yeah, I understand that, but she is the embodiment of my fears, and I am not having it today.
Fair enough. Go ahead and give it a roll.
I need a 5 or better again.
Let's see if you can.
Gonna reroll a 1, and yeah, I'm gonna declare a favorite use on something here. Hold on. So what do I got? What do I got? Let's see. I think mesmerism works off of presence, right? No, it's just deceit. Shit. And I've already just
I
this.
guess for your skill, you could declare mesmerism.
I've just this session
Yeah,
declared
yeah.
deceit as legerdemain. I'm going to use my personality.
Okay.
Mercurial. My personality changes on a dime.
And now we see the terror of Dante.
God damn it!
Nope.
This is where I scratch at the walls and try to. Can I spend an XP to change my favorite use?
Sure. Why not? Your experience to lose.
Alright. Marking myself down 1 XP. Mesmerism from legerdemain to mesmerism. Rerolling a D8. Oh, rerolling a D12, why not, right?
Oh yeah, hey, that's actually pretty good.
There we go, 5 successes. 5 successes. What was I going for here? Suggestion? Yeah, suggestion. After casting, choose a target, then speak a command such as "Forget we were over here," or "Your friend's a double agent." Never leave this town and never come back again.
Does she have a counter roll to that?
The target will resist with your casting roll with mind, will, deceit, and negotiation. If this is a major character, they can tap soaks up to that number of successes I had scored, or fall victim.
Mind, will, deceit, and what was the last one?
Negotiation.
Negotiation. She's got 1 dice there. That is a 5 and a 7.
I've got a 9 and a 7 and a 7 and a 5 and a 4. Again, this is 5 successes I've got. So she can tap, if she's a major character, she can tap soaks up to 5.
Do you have 5 points of soaks?
Oddly
That
enough,
was punching you.
actually, yes.
Wow!
She is, in fact, a major character and will do so. And she will huff at you and go, "You don't have to tell me twice, but don't throw your life away. He will escape. We've gotten this far."
Talking to my back.
She shakes her head at you. "We can't help fools. James." And she looks directly at you, even though you probably have not actually said your name around her. "We will continue to the surface.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Press the orb as you did before. It's a very simple ritual. It has already been set in place. It is the least power that that woman can do. Unfortunate for us, she has neither the patience or the mind to do so. Or do more. And the lot of you are going to escape. And Dante, you're heading back down. As you come back down, you're heading to the basement, aren't you, Dante?
Yes.
Zamek, you are in the midst of setting up your ritual.
And I guess I see Dante come down,
Yes.
and I go, "Hey, boss, how you like my new how you like the new magic trick? I've been working on it all day."
It's pitch black in here, I cannot see.
Anyway, I what do I need to do this? Are we gonna wait for 5
You are
minutes? Something gonna
approaching
happen?
the last step, which will be to ignite the pillar in the center. But you hear above stairs the sounds of heavy footsteps.
Okay, boss. If you're gonna do something, I hope you got a magic trick of your own, because I'm gonna need a minute.
You know what would be amazing right now?
Do you to hide? You can stop the ritual for a second to hide if you need to, Zamek.
Zamek, do you still have that paper I gave you so many weeks ago?
Assume yes.
The one that described a certain ritual. If we are, as they say, underground, it could have very cute ramifications.
Let me look at my Did I have him? Did I have him?
You know what I'm
copied
talking
down?
about, right, Griff?
I think I know the one you're thinking about. This'll be funny.
Shoot, I lost it. What the hell? I thought I did copy it down. Hold on a second. Is it in the handouts you gave me?
Bypass
Yes, it should be.
a
I
level
believe
3
you were thinking
ritual
about
with a level 1
this
ritual.
one.
Oh, that one's level 3 too, huh?
Yeah. It's a toughie.
Alright, we don't have a diamond. Okay, just a thought then.
Yeah, no. That
I forgot about the diamond part.
Oh, that's right. I'll go ahead and move this information up to GM because Zamek did learn it last time.
I did.
With the 3
One
from
second.
the Dreamcatcher book house.
1 second. Do.
I'm sorry. I copied this over to my Google page, but for some reason it didn't save.
Oh no, I did already. The new information is already there. It's the second paragraph. Diamond is the hyperbole a marble would do.
We should be like the Goonies and always carrying around bags of junk with us.
Yeah, exactly. Why aren't you more like the Goonies?
Yeah.
You have moments to spare though. What do you plan to do as actions?
Oh.
I mean, if I try to do this, no, it would be impossible to do this. So I'm
Cloud the minds. I am gone.
All right, Dante. Zamek, Dante is no longer here. You're alone.
okay. I mean, at this point, I guess I'm all focused on ritual mode right now. So I just gotta hope that my boss has my back. And
You hear
find
footsteps coming down the staircase.
The benefit here is that if I attacked anybody, they'd be blindsided. That's the bonus.
Oh no, I get that. I'm just talking about in character. I wouldn't even know what you were doing. I'd just be like, boss, you need to cover me while I do this.
So you're just gonna stay there and finish up.
Yep, I'm just gonna talk. I'm
All
gonna
right.
trust that Dante has my back. We need to.
You hear the footsteps coming down the stairwell. It is, of course, the huntress with Wanda Harvey over her shoulder. She walks straight up to the pillar and just takes a look at you, like with a very confused look. But she doesn't have an axe in her hand at the very moment. So instead, she looks over at the central pillar, takes Wanda Harvey, and hoists her up onto one of the shimmering black hooks. To which Wanda Harvey screams in terrible pain.
Okay, I mean, I finished the ceremony.
All right, yeah. Hero actions. You can finish the ceremony. You have a lit match in your hand and a pillar that is ready to burn with Wanda Harvey hooked to it.
I just yell out, boss, take the girl off the hook.
Yeah, I mean, I'll grab her.
Okay, go ahead and give me a body speed and athletics. The huntress is right there next to it.
Hold on a sec here. I'm just going to hide in plain sight and try to do conspicuous things. So, I mean, can I try a hide in plain sight and then take her? The thing is, while you're not exactly invisible, you can try and hide in plain sight using speed, evasion, stealth, and then try to do some conspicuous things. I'm assuming taking her off the hook would be a conspicuous thing.
It would in fact be conspicuous.
So could I first try to hide and then grab her? Or do I not have enough time to do both?
Yes, you have 2 actions. You can do both.
Well, I mean, yeah, but hiding is a stunt, which would end my turn.
True. We're semi-narrative. I will allow this to happen because it is fun and dramatic right now.
Okay.
This is what you need to do anyway. You've already been hiding because that's what you did last turn.
Okay.
Or as they were coming down, so.
So, speed.
So go ahead and roll to hide.
I have no evasion, but I do have the stealth gift. So, just my speed and a d12. A success. I don't know what she's rolling.
Nothing if she's not focused.
Right.
So you already got a success. You're good and hidden.
All right,
Now
and
go ahead
then
roll
I grab her.
speed athletics to try to unhook her. She is a bear and very heavy.
One success.
One success, you take her straight off the hook and put her onto the ground. And she tries her best to stay quiet as the huntress is staring at Zamek. Zamek, it's your turn. What are you gonna do here?
I guess I see her getting taken off the hook, and I just go abracadabra, bitch. I light the match and throw it on the pillar.
All right, you throw the match, and the entire pillar instantly goes up in flames. All of it simultaneously, as if it were made out of oil. And you see the huntress turn around straight to it and clasp at her head and scream in terrible pain. The three
All
of you
right,
have a moment to escape.
I look at Dante. I go, it's time to GT the FO
Actually,
here out
hold
of
up.
here, boss.
You actually need to roll the ritual. I'm sorry.
My
You
bad.
need to see if it actually succeeds first. That's right.
My apologies. So what do I roll? Is that a presence?
It is a ritual roll. So
There's a
it is going
ritual.
to involve doop.
I have a
Oh,
D8 for that.
Power, mind, will, and academics.
Yep, there you go. You
Power.
got it. And of course, the bonus
Mind,
D8, because it is
will.
interdicted, you will do this.
Mind, will. Yeah, okay. All right. Mind, will, academics plus D8, right?
Yes.
Okay. Mind, will. Let me just do this the old-fashioned way because there's no power option here. Mind, will, academics.
Yeah, what power option is there?
2D8, 2D6.
For power, he has his
Petitioned.
petition power. Yes, that's the word. So he's working on his opinion die for his patron here.
Yeah, I use personal power. Zamek uses petitioned power.
Ooh.
That's looking real good.
Yeah, this was a third tier ritual, right? So you only needed 3.
I think even if
Uh,
that. Yeah, you only needed 3, so you successfully accomplish it. It does happen as said. It lights the fire. She screams in pain and holds her head, and you have a moment to escape and run.
I look at Dante. I go, it's time to GT the FO out of here, boss.
No, I'm still invisible to you, actually.
I'm assuming you're in the room. And like make it. Well, yeah.
I like that. I like that you said that out loud, though.
Wanda. You look to Wanda and tell her to get out.
Yeah, it's time to get.
Time to get out of here, boss.
here.
I'm assuming you're in the room.
Or I just yell out. It's just this GTFO.
Yeah, it's
And
firemen carry Wanda out, or Weekend at Bernie's are out.
All
Yes.
right. The 3 of you begin to run, and you start to hear the screams and shouts of this tiger straight behind you as she is trying to keep up. And as you get towards the surface, climbing around that same corner as you did before, you see the entire group is standing just barely outside, except for the witch. When she sees the lot of you coming, she waves her hand to Green, and Green will tap the orb, correct?
Correct.
And the whole place will begin to shake. It has already been risen to the surface a moment before, and now it is starting to go back down. And as you all begin to rush out and leave, the witch takes something out of her pocket and throws it into the corner of the room where that red orb was. And you can hear the sound of liquid splashing everywhere, as she also darts straight out of the cave. And the lot of you are now outside in this clearing with this broken building in the center and orange flowers slowly retreating. It has been a harsh 2 hours downstairs. Or maybe about 1, I think.
Is the hunter still chasing up after, or?
You hear her shouts as they disappear underground. And there is nothing but a blank clearing.
Okay, because I was about to use
And her sound
shove.
is muffled.
I was about to use shove to throw her back down.
All right. Uh, so here you are, Dante, with the witch who has haunted your dreams, and your old friends looking very much younger than you, and Claudia barely stirring to consciousness. Claudia, there's danger. But there isn't.
Ah! What's going on? Did we kill it? Did we win?
Yeah, we won, but I don't think we
I-
should stop and have a picnic here. Let's get the hell out of here.
It'll take her some time to calm down at the very least before she realizes what she must do. She may go back and ask for guidance, and then finally get a clever thought in her dumb little head.
Okay, I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of follow up where we're going to have to finally purge this thing, cleanse it from the land type of deal.
Looking at the people around you right now, while they are covered in this orange substance that even seems to seep into their skin, you can see it start to slog off and fall to the ground as an orange liquid that pools in the dirt and then seeps into the ground. And you can see the darkness in the forest that seemed like it surrounded this area before has sort of faded away and leaves you clear access to leave this place. And the witch looks at you all and goes, "It would be best perhaps to retreat for now."
It would be
Oh yeah,
best.
I'm all about the tactical retreat.
It would
Let's
be
go.
best if you found a new place to live. The
Well, if you can build me
authorities.
a cottage, I'll be happy to
Yeah.
accept your apology.
The authorities know of your old living place, and they know that people have gone missing there. They are looking for you now. They know what you look like.
Well, I
She
think this is all just
waddles
a
up
bit.
to you, a good foot and a half shorter than you, and starts poking you in the chest vigorously. "You, stupid child, brought this upon your friends. And I am going to see to it that they return home at the very least. This is your fault, and you have finally at least found the courage to solve it."
You kidnapped them. You stole their lives from them. No! Their families lived and died while you kept them captive. You are a monster, and you deserve every evil thing that befell upon you.
Dante, it's not her fault.
Fuck you! Who the hell are you? You didn't have to live with 30 years of this.
I explained what I heard from her.
And I also point out that we couldn't have saved you without her.
Wanda approaches holding the younger Claudia in her arm and puts a paw on your shoulder, Dante. "It's all right, Oliver. It's over. She saved us. She kept us alive this whole time. If it wasn't for what she showed us, what she taught us, I don't think we would have even had a hope. We wouldn't have believed that you would have ever come back." "It's only because we saw it that we waited so long for you." And then she reaches out and just hugs you.
I feel like there's such an emotional maelstrom within Dante that there was no rational response to this. Like a whole. She. Because the crashing thoughts coming over him are they're blaming me. They're saying that they're my fault because I ran away and was the only survivor. Look at these people. Their families are old and dead by now. They've got no one to go home to, and yet they're saying that she saved them. I'm now the bad guy.
She looks at you in your confusion and just says, "You're a foolish child. But that's over now. You did well." And then she turns straight to Zamek and says, "You there, where can I get a drink? It's been 20 years and I need one."
Well, let's get the hell out of this forest, and I'll take you to the first. Actually, no, wait, we can't.
It's been
There's no alcohol. There's no alcohol allowed. So,
She just
uh,
looks at you with a blank expression. There's no what?
yeah,
There's
it's.
it.
I'll explain. You know what? We'll explain it on the way.
And you will explain to her prohibition as she seems to seethe angrier and angrier. Those bastards.
I did. Yes, yes. I was never a fan of the. I was never a fan of the of the using morality and stuff. It's like alcohol is not the cause of all crime.
All right, so let's clarify. You all are heading back towards the town. Where exactly will each of you go?
We need to go back to the truck.
Well, did we defeat the monster? I mean, I asked you guys. I'm sorry, I was out. Actually, think I'm just gonna go to the hospital because can't feel anything on my left side.
You'll want to ask them for a tetanus shot.
Right? No, I'm assuming A, we got to go find a doctor for Claudia. B, we're gonna go find somebody who has a drink because someone does have a drink in Prohibition's America. And C, we're gonna have to figure out what to do next because, like I said, I'm assuming that this is not quite over yet.
I mean, if you guys want to take the truck and then drive Claudia to the hospital, I will walk with the Harveys because we got to take them home. I mean, everybody else has to go home too, but the Harveys have a thing that needs to be done.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming they could wait a few minutes while we stop at the doctor first for Claudia. And then we can
Like I
take-
said, you can go and take Claudia there. I mean, I'm injured too, but I'm putting this as priority on my own thing. Also, we're not too far away from their house.
Actually, I kind of feel we should all of you guys should see a doctor. Like
I said, I'm putting that off right now. There is a very disgruntled old man with
we can make
guns.
some, no, I get that. We can make some phone calls. Everyone can meet them at the doctors, but I think everyone should collectively get checked out. Like even the 4 victims that have been there for 30 plus years should get checked out as well.
They should return home. However, I don't need to introduce them to their own families. I'll leave them to that. I'll go with you, she says, pointed to Zamek. You actually know what's going on. I'll go ahead and take everyone over here. She is going to stick with you, Zamek, wherever you go. Claudia, you're going to the hospital, correct?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go with Claudia. To
Yeah,
the
that's
hospital.
totally correct.
All right. And let me go ahead and find where Wanda was. Here we
Actually,
go.
I'm hurt. I'm hurt as well, so I also want to go to the doctor and get patched up.
Me too. Me too. I got that gas.
All right, so that leaves Dante to go with all the families, or to go and return everyone to their home and make sure that they at least return safely.
It'll be good closure for Dante. I think he needs.
Yes, Dante, you have a moment of introduction to each of the families in the middle of the night as you reunite these long lost friends of yours to their families, to very much surprise and confusion and tears. And of course, it's when you return to the Harveys uh, that you get sort of the largest response out of what was his name again? Gotta find the proper names.
Albert.
Albert, yes. Albert, who just sort of immediately breaks down sobbing at not only seeing his daughter, but his long lost sister. I I don't know what I could ever do to say to thank you, Oliver. I'm sorry. I really am. For all the things that I used to do to you when we were kids. I know I've grown out of it now, but I've never really had the chance to say that. I was a mean little kid. I'm sorry.
I didn't do it for you, Albert. I did it for them.
Would you like to come inside? I got some coffee. I'll tell you some some more stories, and we can
No,
we can catch up.
no, but I don't think it's time for that. You have to catch up with your sister and your daughter. I think all this just makes me want to go home and talk to my mom.
All right, Dante. Now I'm saying it. You go, you go along, and thanks again. Y- You'll always be welcome around here. And as you turn to leave, he's standing and waving with him, Wanda, and Claudia. And he stops for a second as you're almost halfway down the sidewalk and goes, "Hey, wait a second. What about my shotgun? When are you gonna bring that back?"
It's melted slag. It got destroyed in an explosion.
You what?
Yeah, and that's where the camera like freeze frames because I'm limping off and I put like one hand up and there's blood dripping down my shirt somewhere.
He definitely does not pursue, but you can hear a heavy sigh from
Don't
behind you.
you forget about me.
As you head home to your mother to spend the night.
Love you guys pay attention to period details.
Yeah. I do love The Breakfast Club. That's such a 20s movie, right?
Meanwhile, everyone else is on their way to the hospital. Claudia, I think James, you took a big hit. Zamek, did you definitely took a few
Yeah,
slices?
yeah. We've all been pretty banged up about it with this experience. This has not been a pleasant walk through the woods.
And of course, the witch is still with you, and she will introduce herself as Regina Moon.
Of course you are.
Hello, Regina. I'm assuming you have some long and convoluted backstory.
Wouldn't you know it? I'm sure you don't want to hear about the younger years. Maybe a little bit too out of mood for the moment. But needless to say, I suppose my own attempts to solve this problem didn't go too well initially.
All right. Well, while we begin, I'm just going to assume for the sake of periodness, I'm going to reach underneath my seat and I'm going to pull out a small flask and I'm going to I'm going to hand it to her and say, "Here's your drink."
And she will take it and she will just start greedily chugging away. And at the end of it, she'll breathe a happy sigh of relief. I've needed that for over 20 years. You are definitely the one that I need to teach. You got any more of this? And she like shakes the empty flask.
He goes, "Not right now. Let's just say it's a bit of a hard to acquire item."
Well, what I wouldn't give to get some of my favorite. I'm guessing all the breweries have shut down, haven't they?
More or less. And then I explained to her the concept of speakeasies.
Oh, those sorts. Well, I've never been much for socializing for a while. But I guess I still got it in me. And she'll take like a little bit of a playful little pose, as if trying
Uh,
to show off her natural wrinkly beauty.
well, trying to remain polite, I point out the fact that as a witch, she probably has some type of alchemical or potion brewing skill, and
Can we
a
please
fairly
not?
a fairly well inclined and motivated person could do well in these times.
Can we stop? And I'm just like, can we please stop talking about potions and versus it?
She,
This is a bit much for me.
yeah, she chuckles a little bit. It's a bit too much for me too. You think too much of a few tricks of mine. But useful tricks anyway. I'm afraid whatever that I'm trying to think of the proper word here. The fungus does to us has kept me alive for a little bit longer, but I suppose there's no telling how long that will last.
I'm
Okay, so then I guess
What kind of
like
life is it living under a hill?
No life that I ever wanted to lead. As soon as we went down there, Barbara already had her mind made up. She knew what she was doing. I believe she may have had instruction from somewhere for what to do. We all perished shortly after that night. But then, as if in some dire comedy, we were returned. A little emptier than before, but alive. I think that entity, it fed off the hope that kept us down there. We saw Barbara go out many a time and bring new people down to feed the entity, but few of them lasted the week. I think they didn't have nearly anything so strong as to hold on to, as our clear vision of the future, or as I taught those children.
so okay. So then a couple of questions is A, what the hell was that pillar in the basement? B, what the hell is the fungus that's been growing around this forest? And C, yeah, why did you guys stay alive all these years if this thing is eating people's, I guess, souls?
Those two first are one and the same. It is some entity. I don't know where it's from. Perhaps somewhere deeper underground. In that vast cavern we had time to explore, there were other tunnels that went deeper down, but it would always drag us back away from it. But often we would hear sounds down there. Strange noises. I shudder to think if we allowed ourselves to meet with them. As for how we survived, as I said, I think it feeds off of our hope, and we provided a continual source of food for it. Perhaps now it'll struggle. I don't think it'll ever find anyone quite as appetizing as we were. I don't think if we returned we would be nearly in such high spirits. It's a miracle we even had them. Even had a glimmer of hope.
Well, that's certainly quite an impressive amount of will.
Well, when you live a long enough life, you learn how to tell everyone else to fuck off.
Fair enough. I think I know a little bit about that myself. All right, let's get patched up.
Life goal.
Let's get patched up, and then, like I said, I'm assuming that we're not quite done yet.
Well, I don't know what else to do about that thing. I don't think there's truly a way to destroy it. My only guess is that now it might starve if Barbara cannot keep up its meals.
Well, certainly we could banish it. We can shield it or close it or
She grins at
shut
you a
it
little
away.
bit. Banish it where? Underground?
I get the feeling that that thing is not from this world in the traditional transportation traveling from point A to point B sense. You get what I'm saying? Like
No,
through
I
the
know exactly what you mean, and I have felt it too.
so
I believe it
perhaps
comes
maybe
from even deeper underground.
I mean I don't even think underground is even a way to describe it. I think it comes from someplace else, not even from this reality, this existence.
I suppose I was stretching to describe it, but it definitely felt strange and out of place. At the very least.
So, well, yeah, that's what I'm explaining. So I'm
Yeah.
like, perhaps maybe
And
there is
she's nodding and goes, I do believe it came from deeper underground, but it did not come of its own volition. I've seen the thing grow, but I've never seen it truly move. Something brought it there.
well.
Perhaps it's whomever has their claws into Barbara's mind.
So you're saying this pillar thing isn't even what we're dealing with. There's something else at play here that brought whatever that pillar and the fungus is, and it's also affecting Barbara's mind.
That pillar in the basement is just one part of it. It is the land underneath the feet of those who follow in that forest. It is every single tree. It is the webs up in the air. It is the flowers that bloom. It is vaster than you can imagine.
Burn down the forest. Got it.
Well, I looked at Claudia. I go. Where we come from, this is
A good
usually this kind of.
solution.
I give Claudia a right look. I go, where we come from, this is usually the place where we mark off and say, ye do not enter lest your soul gets destroyed, kind of thing. But I guess that's not. And I look around, obviously, as we're driving through rural America, I'm like, that's not quite possible in a place like this.
But I'm a
So,
rich American industrialist. No one hates the environment more than me.
I look back at Claudia and I go, I fear that perhaps maybe we should apply a few bulldozers and fire trucks to this solution.
Maybe a fence?
Yes, we. I finally caught up. Yes, we need a quarantine area.
I feel perhaps your efforts might be best looking for the source of it.
Okay, fair enough. Like I said, you've been living inside of it for 20 plus years. I'm assuming you have some insight into how we figure that out.
I want to rub my chin and think, who knows what lurks in the hearts of men? Oh, Dante's not here. No.
Yeah. Unfortunately, as far as my own investigations go, that was 20 years ago. If I was on the trail of anything, probably gone by now.
All right. Well, I'm assuming we've bought ourselves some time, so let's do some rest and recovery, and we'll see what we can come up with. I think at this point, and I'm like, as I'm driving, I'm kind of like sorely rubbing my body from all the wounds I've obtained this evening. I go. I think that's the best course. I think that's the best course of action right now.
All right. So, Dante, I assume you're sort of heading back to your theater after. No, you were spending the night out there.
Yeah, mother.
So everyone, you can go ahead and get your rest, recover, reset your things that recover on rest, and less than that. And I would presume sometime tomorrow you guys will reconvene. The witch, Regina will stay with you, Zamek, for now. As she explains, I used to have a cottage on the opposite side of the town from that thing. It's been 20 years. I doubt it's in any good condition anymore, and I don't necessarily want to go back there anytime soon. So you won't mind if I take Dante's bed for the night? And then she will close and lock the door behind her. But the next day, where would you all like to meet up? Dante, I suppose, goes back to his theater. Claudia is ready to call in wherever. Where would you like to meet?
Well, I only live an hour away from here.
Yeah.
But away from I can.
Yeah, you can go anywhere you want.
I mean, even though it's hella expensive, I can take a cab.
Yeah.
Or I could just give you a ride in my truck.
But I figured you all would like to at least discuss events to some degree, right?
Yes,
plot.
I guess we can find a diner or eating establishment.
Oh yeah, I got to meet with James. James, you better have taken a picture of that thing because I told you to.
Oh, I did.
All right, well, let's
James.
get that film developed. Let's get you to a photo lab.
That's right. You go to the photo lab and you will begin developing just before breakfast.
Man, how long does that take in the 20s?
At least an hour.
Yeah.
It takes a couple hours. Yeah, it's expensive developer film. It takes a couple hours. It also requires crafting. Since you don't just pay a lab to have it developed.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for them. Like,
All right. As you wait for it to develop, the infrared film comes out, uh, and you see almost nothing in there but the background of the forest and the clearing that you took it up against. But you
And
can see perhaps the faintest lines of some sort of cold object in the center of the frame, of some sort of horned figure. Perhaps if you stretched your own imagination to fit what you recall. The lightest glimmer of it is there, but hardly conclusive, or at least very difficult to prove to others.
You guys have seen the Futurama where they have the lone conspiracy nut that no one will believe, right?
Yeah, he took,
yeah,
and in
and
the
they always
background, Frodo's Bigfoot.
yeah, and
I
they always
mean-
call it blurry. I love that.
You know, the thing about all this is, if you bring those photos back to me, I can make them good for you.
Ooh.
If you're just altering them,
You know, you can just hold. You don't alter photos. You can just hold the camera next to your head, and then you beam pictures onto it.
Well, no, I'm talking about photography.
That's what photography is. You hold the camera next to your head, and beam thoughts onto the film.
Yeah.
Uri
Well,
Geller claims he can do this.
that's ridiculous. It's not a.
but it's the fact that your camera didn't take the photo you wanted to take, but I saw it too, and I can look at it on the photo. I thought Griff was going to say all the pictures go up in flames, like a Ghostbusters 2 thing.
Maybe with a more malevolent spirit. I'll keep that in mind.
No, it's got to be more of like it's 20. It's got to be more like it's some kind of vague fake that would fool the 19, but it's always like blurry and indistinct. Have you guys
You can
followed
see here where he burned the back of the photograph to cause this image to appear.
Yeah, or you can't tell from this angle that the chair is. We specifically have one of those telekinetic chair pictures in the book.
Oh, you mean like street levitation, where it's literally you're standing at an angle to the person and pushing up with one foot.
We literally have a picture that's based off of that in the book.
Yeah, very nice.
So, and the ectoplasm, which is just a weird kind of freeze frame of people with goo in their mouths. But
Basically, this picture looks like something you would see from a Time magazine encyclopedia about, occult investigations.
yeah, like the 14 Times.
It'll end up on a top 10 list in about 80 years.
It's good enough for us.
You feel slightly validated by your experience that you're not entirely insane.
I'm putting it in the trophy room.
As for me, I'm wondering it myself.
Hey, I punched it. That means it's real. Could I have punched it if it wasn't real? I ask you.
It seems to me that James would have to wonder what drugs we slipped you.
Look, I'm all. Yeah, I'm just looking at the photos but we saw it. We saw it. Maybe we were hallucinating. I've heard drugs can have a hallucinogenic.
Yeah, but we're not all going to hallucinate the same thing with the same exact details. And I pull my shirt down with the wounds.
And I see my wounds. It's like a good point. Good point. I'm just spitballing.
Well, the only proof we have is we were attacked by an axe maniac.
Yeah, that I can buy.
Or the children that were returned 30-something years younger than they were kidnapped.
Oh.
I mean, some might say that that's quite some proof.
Well, that I can believe too.
Because they're not going away.
Oh, I have no doubt about that.
People could always claim that we went into the woods and stabbed each other with sticks and then hallucinated something. But the kids will always remain.
Yeah.
Of course, someone who's trying to cover this up could just literally say that these people ran away and came back
came back after 30 years, only having aged 6.
Well,
yes.
we can't prove they're the same kids. DNA testing is like decades away.
Pictures.
The best we can prove is that they have the same blood type.
what do you call it? Fingerprints. Fingerprints still existed in the 1920s.
Yeah, but I don't think.
Yeah, but I
don't-
doubt the children were fingerprinted.
Yeah, this wasn't the era when everyone got fingerprinted.
I don't know. They were all
Regularly.
high criminals. Maybe they did.
Right, but you could determine a relative link between their parents and them.
Yeah, the blood type would verify it. In other words, it's one of those things that could be verified or disputed. But it doesn't matter what other people believe. It matters what I believe. Because I'm the hero, also I'm rich.
Are you?
Yes, I am rich.
The hero,
Which
I mean.
means the next answer out of your mouth better be that I'm the hero.
We could literally be having this conversation in your house.
Yes. Would you like some more pheasant? Knowing you know.
Thank you. It's really nice. Never had it before.
Here, watch me
I'll
pull a
just
rabbit
step
out of my
aside.
hat. Anyways.
All right. So the three of you have, four of you have anything sort of in mind?
Yeah. One thing that, look, we may not believe in the power of spooks, but one thing that is incontrovertible is, of course, is the odic force that people can exert upon each other with animal magnetism. No one disputes that.
Did you develop a pheromone? What are you talking about?
No, magnetism.
Oh, you mean
If you want to believe that we all got hoodwinked into believing what we believe, that's your call.
No,
too.
I
Your
believe
butler walks through and goes, I'm afraid that was only the metal plate in your mother's head, I'm afraid.
No, twice now I have seen people exert a sort of personal magnetism to alter their environment. Once when Mr. Wonderful's assistants managed to apport objects, and this time that hunter had something that was... I have felt fear before, but that was something else. That was a force that acted upon my very vital energies.
Oh yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, that's totally a thing.
Right.
and you bring this up because why?
Because people are using this force. Both Mr. Wonderful and the Huntress have found ways to work with this personal vital force to accomplish terrible deeds against people. It is in the best interest of the public welfare that we find a way to study this force and counteract it before it gives rise to a new era of crime and malfeasance.
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I believe we had an agreement. Woman in black. Is that how you say your name?
It's pronounced Claudia.
No, yes, but I don't want to be in the habit of saying your name. Should I happen to be in a public environment where I should not say it and I slip it out by accident?
Mysterious benefactor.
Okay, mysterious benefactor. We have an agreement, and you have fulfilled your end of it, so now I believe we should work on your half. Before...
Well, I helped you find Claudia. That was my half of the deal.
I said, that's what I'm saying, that we begin work on your half of the agreement. Your
yes.
dead friend.
Well, presumed dead.
Also, Miss Claudia, I'm gonna stop you there for a second about the expose and study this thing, because I'm just gonna speak from like a personal history point of view and kind of like an American history point of view. I don't know if you remember like the Salem witch trials and like the Inquisition kind of thing. So I don't know if you want to introduce that back into the world again.
Yes, The Crucible, a very good book we all must read.
And not until 1953.
Yes, it's a book. I have a rough draft.
Well,
First draft
right.
copy.
And unfortunately, I have a problem that any sources I can cite upon personal magnetism are written by nut jobs, racists, or racist nut jobs.
Thank and I just go, thank you.
Why, are you claiming credit for some of these gems?
Yeah, I didn't know you. Wait, which one are you, the racist or the nut job?
Or the racist
No,
nut job.
I'm the one. I'm the one going. Thank you for acknowledging.
Listen,
Oh my God!
Listen, Claudia. Let's just say I come from a part of the world that has a very, very proud and long history of burning people alive for consorting with the devil or performing "quote unquote" witchcraft. So
Right,
let's just
and we
say
know
I
that's
don't
all.
want to.
And we know that the idea, yes, we know that those people were a cowardly and superstitious lot. Today, in this modern enlightened age, we know that these kinds of forces are caused by manipulating unknown energies, such as the X-ray and rotogens.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you there, Chief, because no, people are just gonna go back to pitchforks and torches and setting people on fire and all that
Nonsense!
shit.
This is the 20th century. Era of enlightenment and reason. There's no way in this era, like reason and enlightenment and science will rule forever.
Yeah, as I pull open the newspaper, which talks about the daily riot from whatever Hoover Town got run over by the U.S. military.
I mean, it is a very interesting argument to be had.
You open
1930s,
up the
not until
paper today,
1930s.
and on the paper today is a story about how those cats are at it again, petitioning for rights and at
Yeah,
work.
let's go into the long and sordid
They're on strike
anti-anarchists,
again.
anti-immigrants.
I mean, let's also note here that the anti-magic argument is being held by the magician's assistant. Let's not tell people magic is real. The magic's assistant is telling us.
Well, that's mostly because there's a lot of frauds out there, like psychic surgery, and people bilking, people out of like all their life savings in the name of miracle cures.
Which I try to expose.
Well, we saw something that was genuinely unexplainable. You're Mr. Green. I assume you're an expert in this field. You have to agree that what we witnessed is something unknown to conventional science.
Oh yes, I just don't want to call it supernatural.
I'm not using supernatural. I never use that word. I use unknown to conventional science.
Oh, I can definitely agree with that. This is. I'm sure there's a logical explanation for it.
Paranormal?
People might paranormal is a word people might use. That like unconventional science, parapsychology. Magnetism was a catch-all word for this kind of stuff because a magnet obviously is metal without any obvious force. So anything that you can't see but it's acting on someone, that's literally where animal magnetism comes from.
Well, it also comes from the fact that originally magnetic rocks were considered to be inherently magical because of their properties.
Right, and all we had to do was understand it. Whatever we witness today is the same thing. We just don't know what it is.
Yes, exactly. It's understandable. I'm sure it's working on some basis in logic. We just need to find.
I mean, our grandparents didn't even know what radio was.
Listen, I'm gonna. This is all really interesting. But being that I grew up with someone who was trying to teach me to be someone who could understand this, one of the first things he told me that even trying to comprehend or understand what you're dealing with is the quickest way to madness and pain. It's kind of like a go with the flow kind of thing. You just have to accept things for what they are. From my recollection, a lot of these things have logics and philosophies that we can't even possibly comprehend the rationale for what these creatures are doing, or beings, or whatever you want to call them.
I'm gonna have to slam my fist on the table and say, I can't believe that. It's obvious that people know what these forces are and are using them for terrible and unknowable ends. Someone has to stand against them. Someone.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not saying we don't stop them. I'm just saying trying to attempt to wrap your head around this from a rational or logical point of view is really just going to get you quickly to a padded room.
I've never made a rational decision in my life.
I disagree with that. That's for cowards.
I'm sorry, I don't know what came over.
Yeah, that's
as the heated moment continues, there's a slight knock on your door, Claudia. And the butler will come back and say, "It's Alton Daher, ma'am, your detective, if you recall."
One of the detectives. Yes. Send him in.
All right, I've gone ahead and made a quick page for it. He is actually the one who runs the detective agency, and he basically has reported to you personally because you are his entire paycheck right now.
Well, yeah, I'm hired them not only to find. First of all, if you have any newspaper clippings, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. James Green here. He's also an investigator.
Pleasure. You looking for a job? I got plenty of money at the moment as long as she's still paying. I'll take that as a maybe. Anyway, looks like you have a bit of company over. Uh, I have a couple little bits of information that we've gathered up so far. Maybe you want to hear them. Don't know if you want to take that alone or if maybe they're
No,
working with you.
these are also people of interest who are curious about Mr. Breakstone. So, if it's about William, they can hear it too.
Well, afraid nothing more about William just yet. We're not quite willing to break into his place yet. There's a nice big iron fence and nobody's answering. But I do have a couple things about that. Let me see. That Osborne person. But nothing about that game gin.
Well, these people are also curious about Mr. Osborne. Please dispose freely.
Well, we started looking up any addresses that match the name. Plenty of apartments registered to that name, so we started narrowing it down. Found out a lot of them were old news. Same story at each one, too. Place burned down, tenants moved out. Osborne doesn't live there anymore. Odd coincidence, isn't it? Couple
Yeah.
places weren't burnt out yet, though. So I got a list of at least 3 places with a Jennifer Osborne living there. You said to keep it low, so we kept it low. We didn't stick around to ask any questions about them or go knock on their door. Uh, but about this Game Gen guy, we kept it on the low about that too. But we've come up empty-handed. There's no numbers, no addresses, no
I
criminal
figured as much.
records, no taxes. If he's in town, he's a ghost, that's for sure.
If only someone would invent an interconnected network of machines that indexed all information so we could look this up more easily. Alas, that is but a pipe dream.
I know. All the best I can do is rig tin cans together right now.
Well,
Speaking of which, here's a couple of the addresses, and he hands you like a little notepad.
okay, I'll take this information.
Okay. There are at least 3 places. Canal Place, which is written down as a cheap set of apartments right next to the canal, and a favorite of reptiles.
Makes sense.
There's Central Heights, sort of a set of middle-class townhouses closer to the lake with some nice views. And Randall Tower, a downtown 10-story building for the rich to buy out to have nice places to rest when on business, instead of retiring directly to their mansions at a further driving distance.
That burned
Its
down?
importance has kind of dwindled over time, but you know it's still a very respectable establishment.
Wait, I thought you said all the places that Osborne had frequented burned down. That one's still intact?
Well, these 3 are, and there's a Jennifer Osborne living at each one.
Okay, so these are 3 places that have that claim a Jennifer Osborne in each one.
And if you think each one of them's gonna burn down, then that's a little bit of a problem, don't you think?
Well, it's almost as a matter of authorities. It's almost as if they're performing some sort of scam and then burning the places down to cover up the evidence.
Huh. I wonder how much insurance they're on the take for that.
Well, you shouldn't be wondering. You should go find that out.
I'll get you some numbers. But I can say for sure Randall Tower is gonna be, probably up to $1 million even.
That would be, yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, I agree with him verbally because I'm thinking, well, that makes sense, like from a practical standpoint, but
Yeah, you ever heard of that much money before? 1 million, can you imagine?
1 million is unthinkable. That's like, what do you think we are, Rockefeller?
One could hope, but I hear they have inflated payouts for those kind of buildings. all the valuables wherein and such.
Well, you should
Don't
find
want
out.
anyone rich to get unhappy.
I actually fear that this Osborne person is actually just mad and is just doing these, and is causing these crimes out of some sort of strange mania, which makes this even more disturbing. But we live in the modern era where people just do horrible things for no reason.
So I'm guessing you want me to go look up some insurance papers.
That sounds about right. You can. Oh, by the way, you can take Claudia Harvey off of the clip list.
Oh yeah? You found her?
That's been resolved.
Ah, I suppose that's good to hear. You don't seem too upset either, so I'm assuming she's probably okay. Good to hear there's a happy ending somewhere out there. Well, I suppose I got someone I can send on this case. They love pushing paper. And I got a couple more I gotta go tell some expensive clients about. Always a pleasure, ma'am. And they'll reach out and shake your hand.
I'll shake it.
Feel free to call up anytime.
I want to spend more money. It's amazing how people become your friend when you spend lots of money.
He'll go ahead and light up a cigarette on the way out. It's like, oh, I'm always happy to take your money.
Yeah, we're all smoking indoors.
Yeah.
I would have offered him a cigar. I would offer all of you cigars.
Your brother comes back and it's like, I got the less expensive ones out for these guests. I assume they won't be staying long. They look a little bit beaten up and off the streets. Are you sure they're okay, ma'am?
Meanwhile, I'm like sniffing the wall because I've never seen this type of wallpaper up close before. So I'm kind of just like, oh wow, this is
It actually
really neat.
smells like it has perfume built into it.
The schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
And I just wandering around like, okay, I have no idea what is going on here.
Yeah, Mr. Green, you're a bonded private investigator, yes?
In a sense.
In a sense. Right, in the sense that I enforce the law.
And the unemployed too now, ma'am, in this house? And he just sort of shakes his head a little bit.
We refer to the term ne'er-do-well.
Ne'er-do-well, of course. Or vagabond.
We're going to be mixing with a lot more people of this ilk.
Well, as always, I trust you're making the wisest judgment you can, ma'am.
We saved small children.
I resent the implication. I come from a long line of storied shamans who defended their village against all beings of extra-dimensional threat.
What nationality are you again?
Oh, no.
I'm from Argentina.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nothing against you, sir. We no longer support the values back as we once did during the Civil War. Not in this house, and not so long as Miss Claudia runs it.
Not anymore, anyway.
But yeah, I believe Zamek was indigenous South or Central American.
Yeah, I was to South America because that's where Dante fled for a period of time, and he found me down there and rescued me.
So, wow. Well, I guess, yeah, I'm willing to share the notes that I have from the private investigators with the rest of my friends here, including Breakstone's journal, which I believe is a handout.
Yes, it sure is.
All right, let's
I'm just looking forward real quick.
Let's distract ourselves with something a little bit more easier to manage, I guess.
Right. Nothing like a real mystery to be easier to manage.
Easier to manage, right?
Yes. So, of course, what do you guys intend to do or plan?
Read the journal first.
Oh, of course.
Which, I mean, GM, read them all out loud. Dictate to us.
Basically, what I can tell you is that I was out of the country seeking to find myself, as after my losing my parents at an early age, I was I traveled the world, lost, forlorn, purposeless. But no one had ever been a greater friend to me than William. And only to find out that after I disappeared, only to find out that after I was gone, he had disappeared. No one seems to know what happened to him. In fact, the next lead seems to be that his estate, which apparently, if I understood the private investigator correctly, his estate is no one else
has an iron fence and nobody is answering.
And no one's answering, which means it's derelict. So that would be the next place to go.
Entry fees during the Mexican Civil War. That's interesting. For Zamek. It's all about shooting witch doctors in the head.
When is it not about shooting witch doctors in the head?
I mean, specifically, that should be interesting to Zamek, I'd imagine. And not in a good interesting way.
Look, nobody shoots Zamek in the head.
I mean, as a rule, yeah.
I'll be sure to remember that, ma'am.
Good. I don't have a lot of rules, but that's one of them.
I need to roll up a name and species for him eventually. I'm gonna do that later.
What, Alfred, your butler?
Yeah, I know. I just have to go click it. But yes. I suppose once you finish reading and make any decisions, we will probably start to wrap up for next time.
Yeah, I'm going to
suggest a long fight of a session. I'm just glad to have a little bit of time for you guys to unwind and actually talk around.
No, that was pretty intense because my character is having a moment of confidence. Well, I think I did the right thing by distracting the huntsman from attacking my friends, but it also means that I'm going to have to become a lot more stalwart of a fighter. It's not enough to fight them, when on mundane means, but also in supernatural means.
And I was just glad to finally get my skeptic part of the character out.
Well, there's still a lot of fraud out there.
We should talk to the lawyer
of the estate.
Yeah, he's the last person that apparently saw Mr. William Breakstone.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we investigating this?
Wait a minute. First of all, says, well, he's a lawyer, which means he have attorney-client privilege, which means he wouldn't talk to us.
Well, he wouldn't have to know that he talked to us.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. That if he was under the influence of something else.
But yeah, as the last person to have seen Mr. Breakstone, it seems like the most logical lead.
Yeah, and who is...
And Dante, you've been the one reading this journal for a while, right?
I have been reading it just now, yes.
Yeah, there's a name that keeps coming up that doesn't mean anything to me.
Who's Chikovic?
Yeah, well, Sikovic is mentioned in there a couple times. I don't know who that is. And they haven't come up in the clipping service either.
Who's Albert Harvey?
Albert Harvey?
Okay, never mind. He's just someone he's talking about in the journal.
Yeah, I think Albert Harvey was murdered. Was Albert Harvey related to Claudia Harvey?
Wait. What are you bringing up? What are you bringing up Albert for?
I'm just pointing out that I've had that there the entire time. You do know an Albert Harvey, Dante.
Yeah, I know Albert. I'm asking why they're bringing him up all of a sudden.
He's in his journal.
The journal.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, my squad leader, Albert Harvey, is a rough man of low breeding. I almost wish to have nothing to do with him, except that he did save my life.
Yeah, but
that's right. Yeah, that's his squad mate.
I mean, not only do I know who Albert Harvey is, you know who Albert Harvey is, Onyx, so I'm asking why you're bringing him up.
Yeah, I'm asking you, who's Albert Harvey?
Albert Harvey. No. Apparently, Albert Harvey was the squad mate of William Breakstone's when he was in the war.
I mean, you also just met his sister and his daughter today. Yeah. Yesterday. So
these were I'm sorry. That's right. These were the people that we just saved.
Yeah, and,
That's why.
and who's William
That's why it
Breaks?
sounded. That's why it stood out for me. Oh wait, Albert Harvey. Why does it sound familiar to me?
Well, not only
Oh,
that,
yeah.
but he like put a shotgun on us in our place. So it's like,
Listen, I'm still recovering. I've been bagged up. Okay, give me a
Yeah,
break.
and who's William Breakstone again?
William Breakstone is my childhood friend who has disappeared and has been presumed dead. And I'm looking for him. It's my personal goal to find out what happened to him. There's no
Right,
one in the
so-
world that I cared more about than William Breakstone.
So, what are the chances that William Blakestone knows Albert Harvey, which means he also knows Dante?
Well, Albert Harvey.
unlikely.
The chances he knows Albert Harvey is 100% since he mentions it in his journal. And if you know where Albert Harvey is, we maybe want to talk to him next. So it sounds like we've got several leads. The lawyer is a lead, Albert Harvey is a lead, and the estate is.
No, I think Zomic was saying that for some reason, because one knows one, that he would know two, and it's no. He met Albert Harvey when he was in the military. I was never in the military. Ipso facto, I'd never met William Breakstone.
Right. And you meet all kinds of people in the military.
Right. You meet all kinds of people in South America.
I just find that's a weird connection, considering that.
No, it's
Claudia,
in fact it's
Claudia,
I mean,
It's
that's like saying he went to Mexico. You're from Mexico. Ipso facto, you know William Breakstone.
No, I see where he's coming from, but honestly, because it's a military connection, people just get assigned. So it was probably
the only reason why I point that out is because the witch told us that whatever is out there in the woods was brought out there.
That witch is full of shit. Don't listen to her.
Well, Breakstone put some crazy stuff in his journal too, so he may be mixed up in. And also, Osborne is doing some weird stuff too, apparently to call some other sort of source that they want to come out too.
And additionally, again, I'm going to point the lawyer angle out here because he might have said stuff to his lawyer that he didn't write down.
No, I totally agree. So I think the idea of us getting audience with the lawyer, and that's probably a job for me and Dante, because I could get an audience with the lawyer because I could demand to see him and I'm rich.
Okay, so let's circle back. Who is Chikovic?
That I don't know.
Which section is that in? I must have missed that.
Entry E. I
It's last
heard
entry.
them say they had a new friend. Who's they? Who's they?
Oh, the ones
Yeah,
that
so
would bang on his door day and night?
Okay, I heard them say they had a new friend they wanted me to meet. Someone named Chikovic. I should be
Yes,
glad to have
Sikovic. Yeah, or is it?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Chikovic or Sikovic.
Sikovic. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, and my private investigator service hasn't turned up any likely leads. So that is definitely someone to make inquiry about. One of the things that kind of hampers us a little bit is none of us are actual very good investigators.
Ahem.
To be fair, I am a stage performer, not a.
Well, we're good researchers. We can do a lot of good book research because we've got a lot of academics and research among us. But we're not very good at canvassing blocks or interviewing. None of us are interviewers.
A very nearsighted group, perhaps.
Questioning.
Oh, yeah, except for our debunker here, who is our first guy.
All right, so I guess the other question I need to ask, because in entry D he mentions all these friends that were creeping him out and caused him to hide himself in his house.
Right.
So, Claudia, do you know anything about these people?
Nope. And he might actually still be in the house for all we know. I haven't been able to. All I know is that he's disappeared from the public life, and no one's seen him. So if he's gone mad or has some other sort of malady that's too embarrassing for the family to admit, I have no idea.
Well, the thing is also that he had a bunch of books he wanted translated, right? And then large section goes missing, and then all of a sudden now he has friends that he's talking about. So
Yeah, which happens when you're rich.
well, I just mean that he was looking for translations on books, and then suddenly has friends. So those friends might have been the people he was searching for translations.
Oh.
Yep. And he got mixed up
another,
with weird people.
another thing. Is there a picture of this in entry B? But he says, I at least managed to convince everyone to come take a picture together. And there's a trinket.
No, the journal does not have one.
The journal pointedly does not include a picture.
But it does mention a trinket
Yep.
from South America.
Yep.
And a witch doctor.
Yeah, they get shot in the head.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I
So
said,
there's all sorts of missing pieces here.
Zanvik's very interested now.
Zamek, this does sound a little familiar, even.
Does it? Is there anything I can do to get more insight into what's going on here? I do have a crap ton of academics.
I mean, this also seems like something you would have
You
personal
don't
experience.
need to
Observation.
roll anything. You can search your painful memories of when you
Yes.
remember your village was burning down to the ground and you were taken captive.
Is
You
this what
saw
it's
your elder on the ground, not screaming or cursing, but just holding up a hand to one of the people who killed him, as you were then dragged away and later given over into slavery.
all right? I quietly closed the book down, and I put the book back on the table. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna need to do some more investigation on who this William Breakstone is.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
All right.
So if we're all together, then I guess it's what's the name of the library again?
The Eastwood Municipal Library.
Very well, the Eastwood Library Club.
Well, no, there's like 2 clubs that meet there.
The Curious Investigators Club.
And the Magicians Association, which I still have yet to attend a meeting of.
I'm gonna send you there, I swear. I don't have I'll have you do a union meeting, I swear. But I think that is probably a good note to end off with the group converging about finding William Breakstone in the future.
All right,
Yeah, we haven't discussed where I'm going to be.
Well, I
that's
kind of
okay.
feel we should. I kind of feel we should split up. So, and actually think that Dante should go see his buddy Mr. Harvey, since he owes him a huge favor. He'll probably explain what went on in South America and what he did with the trinket or what happened with the trinket. That's just my idea. And then I guess James, you can either come with me to Blackstone or Claudia. Actually, no, Claudia, you and me go and visit Breakstone's house and see what's going on in there. And James, you go with Dante and figure out what happens.
I think we just
in South
discussed
America.
that me and Claudia were going to go talk to the lawyer, and you're
Yeah.
like breaking us up even more for some reason.
We'll handle the specifics next time, but you seem
Yeah.
like you all have a large set of goals that all converge around the same thing. So we're gonna go ahead and call it
I just
here.
kind of going with the flow here because
I know. So let's go ahead and hear out some mottos. Dante.
I always have a plan.
Well, it worked out. Zamek.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
He'll live to see another one. Claudia.
Yes, certainly did.
Justice tempered by mercy.
Hey, you actually found some today.
Yep.
A slight bit. And James.
there's got to be a logical explanation for this.
If only. All right. So let's go ahead and do the quick debrief. Likes, dislikes. What do you guys have to say today?
No,
This
it's real
definitely
good.
feels like definitely feels supernatural to me.
I'm super glad. That was basically what I planned out for like the third act of that whole scenario in that town. And that took a fair bit longer than I thought, so that was very interesting. But I think it was very dramatic and fun, even if you did get beat up a little bit, Claudia.
We all
I
got beat up.
distracted the monster from other people, so I feel like that was a result.
Yeah. She was wielding the large axe in her hand, so she wasn't able to counter while she was holding that and using that alone. So I'm surprised that you decided to just stand around and guard at her, actually.
Well, because I get the bonus D12 when I guard.
Yeah, but you could have also aimed, I suppose, but...
Yeah, but if I aim and
you only had
attack,
one action left.
if I aim and attack and miss, then I'm vulnerable when her attack comes around.
Right, exactly. So you could have just stuck with the D12.
And my goal was to be enduring. Well, my goal was to keep her just while they were doing everything else, you know.
It is a shame, though, that your punching did not actually inflict much damage at all.
I
I think just once.
but that's that's part of the random rolling. It just happens.
Yeah. But I think you still did a great job, and I think everyone else managed to get around to do their goals and such, and caught on very quickly. So it
I
went
was
very
pretty
well.
dramatic. I like Dante getting more upset about the kid. It was pretty cool.
Uh, all right. And I believe we probably accomplished some goals here. All of you found Claudia, so I'm going to go ahead and grant a quick gift of Insider with this town here, Willow Springs.
What do I
Alright.
get?
People remember that you liked it.
I already have.
Well, go ahead and take 5 experience.
Oh no, wait, you're right. I don't have insider with. I have local knowledge, Willow Springs.
Yeah, I have that goal.
Yeah, so go ahead and take that. Did anyone else finish up a goal real quick?
I did.
I did too.
Yeah, I had Claudia in there as well for some reason.
All right, so Dante, you're supposed to cleanse the evil there, wasn't it?
Make Willow Springs safe from the witch's magic, which is why I cursed her so much.
Right, and it's now the entity's magic, and it's still technically out there, but it's safe for now, you assume. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you. What's the next magic thing you were looking for?
ESP.
Go ahead and take some ESP, why not? That was a personal goal, and you have fulfilled it finally. Or at least as much as you can for now. Let's see. James, you had one?
Well, as I said, I had the Claudia in there one in there for some reason.
It was a
Yeah,
party
so,
goal.
so you get Insider, of course, but I think your other one, which was like find proof or disprove
prove a
something.
supernatural if it is either true or false.
How do you feel about that? Did you feel like you proved that to anybody yet?
No, I
Yeah.
didn't.
We'll wait until you like give a full report to somebody. The library might be a good place to start. Emmett always loves to hear this stuff.
And
Hugo.
me. One of my secret goals was to find the people who destroyed my village, and apparently I just did.
I'll go ahead and let you take it early. You haven't found them yet, but you have the lead and you know who they are.
Okay, so what do I get for that?
Good question. You don't have an actual magic power yet, do you?
No.
How
all
would you like
rituals.
spiritualism?
Sure, what is that?
It's a magic power.
It lets you talk to ghosts and make ghosts do favors for you.
That is right. You would roll mind, will, observation. No, that's ESP. Mind, will, and negotiation, and power to do spiritualism feats. These include things like detecting spirits, creating wards against them, even bringing objects to yourself, I think.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds cool. I want that.
And later on, astral projection, which is awesome.
That
Cosmic
sounds cool.
alignment. Oh my gosh, what is this? I
That
haven't looked
sounds
at
cool.
the section too closely, but it looks pretty great.
That
Yeah,
sounds cool. I want
I
that.
could get a headache just listening to all of this.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So at least now you have a cool power to work with, and that will work specifically with your current patron.
Cool. So I'll just put down spiritualism.
Right. So your patron ultimately won't be able to do every single bit of magic out there, but this is one specifically that it is more than capable of helping you with. Because wouldn't you know it, your ancestor spirits are spirits.
That's true. So I assume I get this at a D8?
You just get access to the table and you can roll.
Okay.
You're still rolling the same power.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. And Claudia, I don't think you finished up anything particular yet. You're still looking for William.
I'm still looking for. Yeah, I didn't accomplish any other goals. So
Yeah, but that I'm gonna offer that up as a group goal. Track down William.
Yep.
So you'll be getting kind of double dipping on that, which is perfectly fine.
Yep.
All right then. Any closing comments, thoughts, rules? Hugo, go ahead and paste me the note I asked you to give me earlier about the sheets.
I am confused. Oh, the fact
Yeah, you remember
that,
how I was rolling like 11?
what do you want me to do? I'm sorry, I'm a little confused.
Just send me a note.
Oh, send you a note? Cool, no problem.
Yeah. I guess quick question about the sheets. The people who are using them, how do you feel about them?
They're okay.
Is there anything you would want to see?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you when I can. I'll tell
Okay,
you when I can.
I'll let you decompress then. Um. Any other closing statements for now?
No, I am enjoying it quite a bit.
Yay! I'm glad. All right then, everyone, don't forget you go ahead and get 2 experience for being here in the session and debriefing.
I don't suppose it would be a chapter, would it?
Not just yet.
Alright.
I'm actually waiting for everyone's personal goals to end.
Alright. I also just noticed. Sorry. I also just noticed that I have no goals left.
Yeah,
No, you got the group
new
goal.
one.
You got the group goal. Find William Breakstone.
Oh, was that one? Okay, I didn't hear that was offered.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an all party one now. You're partying with me, so now this is your goal.
All right. And I guess you could also consider in the future the ancillary goal of take care of the entity once and for all. But
Yeah, screw that entity.
but I don't know how soon you want to come back there. We'll discuss that next time, I think. Or you could like talk during the week if you want to actually go do that.
You know, I wasn't going to buy Monster Hunter, but now I feel like I really just have to.
You got a good excuse for it. Just wait until the monsters actually start showing up.
Right, because Disbelief Soak is not only an extra 2 points of damage, and I did get my butt kicked, but it's also a bonus D12 to resist magic.
Ooh,
Which I have to get. No, I mean, like, one thing I liked about the game is, like, the first thing, taking out the Huntress's monstrous soak early, is she also has the power to make us terrified. Which means when we're terrified, she gets a bonus D12 to do anything she wants to it.
I thought that was when it wasn't tapped.
Right, when it's not tapped, you get a bonus D12.
Yeah. And
That's
so I always
why-
like tap that specifically first, even if that makes it more complicated for them, just because it kind of makes more sense to go first.
No, well, once the heroes show up, it makes more sense. But it's also a rule in the game to explain why is the monster so unstoppable. Well, because it shows up, scares the peasants, and then kills them.
Yeah,
And
why
so-
didn't those 5 people underground escape before then? Because obviously she was beating them to the ground with a bonus D12.
Right. Whereas we're player characters, we're
You have a chance to succeed.
we're made of tougher stuff.
Mhm.
So
I got a recurring villain now. I just realized. I can bring her back. She's not dead yet.
we can. That reminds me, I got to put that goofy tomahawk. The tomahawk that we picked up earlier, is that a big one or a small one? Or is that an axe or a tomahawk that was in the body?
It is an actual tomahawk. Tomahawk stats.
But it's made out of the weird elemental metal, which I guess
Correct.
is just like aluminum or something.
I can't wait till we come back to your manor at some point and find your trophy room has been ransacked, and that our enemies have just, equipped themselves with all your trophies.
They took the giant penny.
Yeah, that's right. No, look out!
I'm sure there are tons of real steep hills in this town.
They're
Right.
rolling it down Main Street. Look out, everybody.
Well, yeah, but also I'd like to point out that my trophy room is a bit more secure than, say, your stolen truck.
It's not.
That is awfully true. It is more secure.
Again, I'm 100% against all the stolen shit that's been going on. I didn't free Zamek. I didn't free Zamek from slavery, so I could tell him what to do. So if he wants to go around stealing shit, that's on him. I'm just not getting arrested for it.
We're gonna have the Zamek car dealership at the end of this campaign.
The trophy room. Yeah.
I have a rather amoral outlook on things sometimes.
The trophy room's not all that impressive. It's got the acid gun in it. Now it has the Huntress's tomahawk. It has a maid outfit I stole from the Bear Hill Country Club.
I can't wait to see the bounty hunter that comes after you wearing everything you've stolen.
And it also has
you wearing the maid outfit.
Wearing the maid outfit, got the acid gun strapped to his hip, throws a tomahawk at you. I'm your worst nightmare.
Why would you save this in your vault if it wasn't important? They say as they slip into the skirt.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, well, I'm thinking the fact that she's a vigilante pretty.
Hey, it's what you
Alright.
do. It's what the old school heroes did.
Wait, why is it a maid outfit? Where was that one from?
Because I stole it from the Bear Hill Country Club.
Oh, that wasn't the gardener outfit?
No, I bought the Gardner outfit.
Oh, okay. I thought you stole the gardener
Hey,
outfit.
you brought it around. You
No,
bought
the
it
Gardner outfit.
repeatedly.
I cased the place out, looked at what Gardner outfits they already had, and then bought one that looked like that. So,
All
yeah.
right then. So I'll go ahead and call it here myself. Thank you everybody for coming, and I will catch you next time.
All
Okay.
right, thanks for running.
Bye,
All right,
everyone.
good night, everybody.